Hi guys, I'm Tiny Joy now, and today we are building Maude's art studio from the Big Lebowski, which I am doing an LP of in The Sims 4. So you're gonna get to see them play out in real life, and I have them up in the gallery if you want to play with them too. I think it just kind of goes hand in hand with the bowling stuff pack that came out, and kind of adds an extra fun element to it. I think to a great classic movie that. Oh god, I just love it so hard. I've probably watched it before I thought of building this. I probably watched it maybe 6 times in the last 5 weeks before I even, was rewatching it for material, like, to know what the buildings looked like and everything. So it's a really great movie. You should just check it out. That's just my personal opinion. I cut out a little bit of the editing and building around because I think it would have made you just sick. So what I did was I took the building that is in the Spice District because it's a pretty simple concept and it had a lot of elements that I felt Maude's art studio would have with its industrial look to it. It made it a lot easier when it came to decisions like the roof or should I make it really tall? How did it feel? And that way it really just saved me a mass amount of time. As you can see here, you're going to notice once or twice in this build, I have to resize it down and down and down because that's a problem for me when I build. I often either build too big or too small, so I kind of have to build it, put some furniture in to kind of feel out how big the area is, and then make edits from there. So I'm pretty proud of this because I got the windows pretty accurate. It's interesting because in some parts of the art studio, there's these round arched windows, and then in other areas, there's these like ginormous crossed, what you would see in kind of like a beautiful CW art apartment where they're like, I'm just poor, I can only afford this apartment. And you're like, girl, that would be thousands of dollars to rent a month. I don't know what you're talking about. That looks beautiful. But right here, I'm making kind of, I'd call it a kitchenette, but honestly, it is a full kitchen, which I just think, of course, Maude, as, the wealthy heiress that she is, would have kind of, so to speak, a full-on kitchen in her house. I actually, because for the sake of the LP, she will be living here, so it's less complicated. I did end up adding a bathroom, which, by the way, I always freaking forget to add that in. I always, in my builds, I'm like, huh, something's missing. Oh, wait, no one can pee. But I added a bathroom, and I also added a bedroom. So you'll see that towards the end of the build, but that is not in the movie or even hinted at by doors or anything that I could see. But it kind of, for me, it's like it makes sense that she lives at the art studio. That way when the dude visits her, it's all good. This is me adding in some just little objects to kind of make the place feel a little more real. She has, of course, the infamous, well, I keep saying infamous, but I guess it's just infamous to me because each moment of the movie is very memorable. When she first, when the dude first meets Maude, he goes over to this little bar area. Well, actually, the friend of Maude says, "Would you like a drink?" And he goes, "Yeah," and he sits down. And as soon as he sits down, he goes, "The bar's over there." And you could just tell our lovable, lazy, not in a negative way, but he is lazy, dude is like, oh, and like gets up and goes and makes himself a drink. And that's when he talks to Maude and she shows him everything. And well, you'll have to watch the LP to see the rest. Or the movie. The movie's very good. I highly recommend it. Uh, this was a little tricky to do the like living room kind of art area because I wish I had the type of furniture that they had in the movie, but you have to work with what you have. It's like squared the way these chairs are, but it has these thin metal frames around it. So I worked with the best I could. I would say though, my favorite part about any build, but specifically this one, was the clutter. Maude is actually, I was thinking about this. I didn't film this. You'll have to see in the future, but I made parts of the Big Lebowski, Mr. Lebowski that the dude visits, her father. Uh, I made his home messy in some areas, and you'll have to find out why and see when you watch. But I was thinking about that when I was building it. I was like, oh, how funny, in their own way, they have a sense of messiness to them that I thought was really, funny and similar. And it's like, you try not to be like your parents, but, and I had a lot of fun, is what I'm trying to say, going through all the different pieces and clutter and really figuring out what would best describe her. And I don't know if you noticed, but when she first initially comes in, she has this bag and she dumps it on the counter, and it's just junk. It's just metal and stuff, but you can tell that like she's gonna do something with it. She's just gathering up stuff. She's an artist by true nature. She makes clearly found object stuff. She, has tons of canvases, huge ones on the wall. And this actually brings me up to what is happening right now. What happens is when she comes in and he goes into the place, it's a dark hallway. That's why you'll notice there's no lights in the hallway. So it's nice and dark, and he goes down it. And she literally flies above him, butt naked, and like she's strapped to kind of a harness, and she glides down, and then she screams to this like ambient like sexual music that she splatters paint on a giant canvas. And of course, this takes him off guard initially because he thinks he's being attacked, I assume, and he probably was like, "What's happening?" So what I did was I put the easel with lights focused on it so that it could at least mimic the idea of what's happening, That's the fun part about The Sims. Like, I do look forward to when we have more gameplay and options, but certain things like being butt naked strapped to the ceiling isn't going to happen. So I really do enjoy putting a spin to it and thinking, like, how can I do my version of that? So here I'm trying to figure out how will I add in a bathroom and a bedroom. And I just add it off to the side, add the roofs and everything, make sure everything's nice and even. Now, the bathroom and the bedroom have their own kind of still Maude flair, is how I can put it. Because as much as she has like this industrial place, she's such a series of contrasting ideas. Like, which I feel a lot of characters are in this movie, which makes them very lovable. So she has like a lot of soft features, but then she likes very striking avant-garde things. So I made the bathroom look very marble-esque, all black, very modern looking bathtub, and of course very electric high-tech toilet, very cold. I put mirrors by the bathtub because I imagine, because Maude talks about you shouldn't be shy about your sexuality, you shouldn't be shy about vagina. That's literally what she says in the movie. When she does it, I assume she probably would want to put mirrors up, insinuating you shouldn't be shy about your own body to look at it, So then we have in the bedroom, on the other hand, while it still has certain things about it that are very striking along with the bathroom and generally her style, I feel, you'll notice that it's the only room in the entire art studio that has wood flooring. And as you see me put in artistic pieces, while, like I said, there is an element of it being very striking and, her, there's also a softer element. I admit, or not admit, I imagine that, like, this is special to her. Like, when she goes to, make love and be with people or just take time to herself, this is when she decompresses. This is when she really is homey and warm. And I think it's, she's not 24/7 like an act, is what I'm trying to say. Kind of like the parents from the Beetlejuice, how they design the whole house like very modern and stoic and crazy. Ooh, we're coming up to the end of the build. By the way, that front statue is awesome. I never had a use for it before until now. So that was really great. I felt like Maude totally would have that. Oh, I loved this. I put a bunch of trash because I imagine Maude is always collecting and going through her own trash. Sorry for the quickness. Basically, I'm going in, looking through any, are the chimneys correct? Are the roofs correct? Did I fill up all the paint where it needed to be? So I'm sorry about the very quick movement, real quick. But we're coming up to screenshots, so hold on. It's coming right now. Any second. Okay, there we go. There we go. So here we see the outside of the building. There you saw Maude real quick. And you can see, what the Big Lebowski, or I'm sorry, the dude's gonna see. Oh gosh. I can't wait. I gotta tell you, a lot of the builds I did for this particular LP, I think I'm gonna just keep and have fun playing in them and put other characters in them too, because I just really like the way they feel. Oh gosh, I'm so happy. Well, guys, have a nice day. You can feel free to download this and, enjoy the LP.